Hello, everyone. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session. Yes, it's bound to be exciting. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, we're just going to stall for a while we let others join the call. While we wait for them, you could please introduce yourselves and where you're joining us from, your school maybe, in the live chat. Let's just engage there. Our session today is going to be a very, very interactive one, not the usual, so let's start interacting. Thank you very much. Love to see our interactions on the live chat. Okay. We have more people joining the call. Hello, welcome. Right. I hope everyone can hear me. Hello, if you can hear me, please, can you just signify, maybe say something? Am I audible?
Yeah, you are, Annie. I can hear you
Yes, yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. We'll wait for, do we wait for 5 minutes or two to let the others join before we start? No one's engaging in the chat. Oh, hello. Thank you very much. Oh, welcome. Welcome, Abubakar. Olamide, welcome. Hi. Good afternoon. Welcome. It's lovely to have everyone around. And yes, you're here for an even lovelier session. Okay, so we'll start officially by 3:10. That's 3 minutes more to have others join us. Yes, while we keep engaging in the chat. We already have two from Footmina. Welcome. Hi, Gideon. Hi, Gideon. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Hello, Ajaya Yomide. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Thank you. Right, let's also do well to share the link, post on our statuses and on our groups, general groups, to have others join the call. This meeting. Right. Hello, good afternoon, Quadri. It's good to have you around. Welcome. All right, welcome. We've got just 1 minute more and we'll start. In the course of the meeting, I believe that others will join us. So, all right. All right, then, without further ado, we'll just go into our business for today. Right, we all know what we're here for. It's the webinar with the team building a digital quantity surveying career. And I believe all of us here are QS or, of course, looking forward to going into it fully when we graduate. Right. Um, so yes, I take the opening prayer and we'd start immediately. Father in heaven, we say thank you for another time to learn. We pray, oh God, for wisdom, for knowledge. We pray for understanding. We pray for clarity. And we pray, oh God, that you have your way in this meeting. Help us to get all that we're here for. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Now, like I said, this webinar session is going to be a very, very interactive one. So please do well to really, really engage in the chat, right? And so firstly, I'd be talking about the OPEA team, right? We know that this has been initiated by the OPEA team, this webinar session, but a lot of us do not exactly know what the OPEA team is about. So I'd start with that. So the OPEA team is a QS digital skill team. It is a knowledge-driven platform committed to equipping quantities of students, young professionals, and academics with relevant digital skills, right? Practical insights and industry-aligned tools. The team bridges the gap between academic learning and basic modern construction practice through innovation, collaboration, like we're doing, continuous professional development. The initiative started in the late 2025, right, as a student-led effort within the quantity surveying discipline founded by Okikiola Omosola, Purity Akinkumi, Emmanuel Oke, Quadri Sadiq, Abdullahi Abdurrahman, Adibodun Helen, and Oluwatosin Adibiyi, right? These were the founders, and what began with QS students has now grown into a broader platform supporting digital growth across this profession, and this is what the OPEA team is about. And I am your moderator for today's session. I am Purity Akinkumi. It is nice having you all around here today. Thank you so much for joining again. Thank you so much for joining. All right. So we'd go right into our first session, which I would introduce our first speaker for today, Mr. Emmanuel Oyemi. Mr. Emmanuel Oyemi is a visionary smart home engineer and the co-founder, CEO of Recon.io. He emerged as the best graduating student in quantity surveying from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, in 2021, and was notably recognized as the best graduating student in Southwest Nigeria during the 2019 NIQS Biennial Conference in Abuja. Bridging construction with advanced technology, Emmanuel leads Lighthouse Smart Solutions and drives digital innovation through Recon.io to simplify project cost management processes for Nigerian professionals. He's the author of Made for More, a book detailing his strategic blueprint for achieving first class honors. Through his mentorship platform, Stellar Oasis, he has coached over 20 first class graduates to the top of their departments and universities, dedicated to empowering a new generation of high achieving digital first construction leaders. Now we see a man of capacity here. Can you please make welcome our first speaker for today, Mr. Emmanuel Oyemi, with reaction. Thank you
Hi,
very much.
everyone. Good afternoon. Annie, thank you so much for that. And I'm so excited to be joining you on this call, right? And like you've said that this session is going to be very interactive. So please, when I speak, I expect, at some point you can just, do a thumbs up, clap, maybe maximize the use of the comment section so that we can all have a great time. Yeah. So that is that. Thank you once again, Annie. Thank you so much, Ellen, for having me here. So today I'll just be talking across. I'll be talking about what actually helps a student to maximize their staying in school, especially from the academic side of things, right? Because of the truth, a lot of time we have listened to myth that has been peddled, from generations to generation. Oh, Futa is this, oh, you is this, you cannot even make first class, it's not possible, you have to, you need two heads, you need three heads. So this has been the narrative that has been passed down from generations to generations, and they are myths. And the reason why I call them myths is because people have come to they've actually graduated and they've proved those myths to be wrong, so they are not facts. And I will be talking about what you as a student can do, to upskill, to maximize your stay in school and not just beat about the bush. So the first thing I will be talking about is identity, right? And this is because over time, I've seen people, doing things, right? Going for night classes, going for, burning the night candles, and still having little or nothing to show. And a lot of time is as a result of them not even being aware of who they are. So it's best we start from that aspect. A lot of people on this call don't even know who they are. And a good way to, prove that to you is if I ask you, who are you? A lot of people want to use what they do to qualify or tell me about who they are. And that's so wrong. What you do doesn't equate who you are. What you do is an expression of who you are. So it doesn't define who you are. And a lot of times, if your identity is not determined, if people don't know who they are, they live a false identity. They copy a template that actually suits another person. And for instance, if I can bear me witness, actually we have a circle of three, right? The three of us graduated first class. Two out of us emerge as the best graduating students. King, that's our third person, right? And if I can bear me witness that I never did went for a night class, right? All through my stay in Futa, I never did went for a single night class. The only time I went for a night class was after exams, my final year exams, and that was because we were having a couple of assignments to turn in, right? That was the only time that I think there was even a course that everybody actually went to school. Finally, I was in my bedroom, and luckily for me, by God's grace, I still had an A. So what influenced this decision? What influenced it actually is I know who I am, right? And the reason why I am emphasizing on identity is because success is more of an identity than a result. People a lot of times who want to succeed, they are always after the result. Oh, I want to have this, I want to have this, I want to have this. Well, while that is cool, it's not all that there is. The first thing that needs to be tackled is to make success your identity, to know that the result you are looking for is like an expression, an expression, right, of who you are. And a good example is, right, I'm a Christian, and one of the ways in which I've been able to achieve some level of success so far is because of the principles I've been able to deduce from it, right? And from the scripture, it was saying at some point that every creature produced after its kind, right? Everything produced after its kind. And a practical approach to that is a mango tree cannot produce oranges, right? And also, a human being cannot give birth to a monkey. So likewise, somebody that has failed to come into, the knowing that success is my identity will find it way difficult, right, to produce success as a result. If you are with me, I just want to see your thumbs up. If you are with me, if you are not yet getting bored, right, just say, do a thumbs up, drop a chat, in the text. So first come to the point whereby I am a success, right? When when it comes to you that way, success will become, it's not going to be a fluke, right? It's going to become something that is consistent. And if I tell you are going to fail, it's going to be a one-time thing, right? Your failure will be a one-time thing. But if you have not come into the realization of, oh, this is my design, I was made, right, to be successful. God designed me to be successful. Whenever you fail, it's as a result of you trying to fail forward, because failure is actually part of life, right? So, and another way in which I do tell people, right, to make them know that, oh, you are working with a false identity, is the fact that some people, they'll see that, oh, we are A students. This set of people, they are the first class students. We are just the B students. We are the C students. The question that comes to my head a lot of time is, who made you so? A lot of times, some people, they are being given this definition by their environment, by their parents, by their past experiences. Maybe, while you're in secondary school, you struggled before you gained admission. You had to do a lot of plus and minus. Your WAEC, you had to combine two results together. Sorry, that is not who you are. You're a success. So in case you don't know that today, I am saying that. And if you were able to come to the reality of this, right, it's going to help you to ensure that you produce some level of successes over and over and over, because school is not just all that there is to life. By God's grace, I graduated 2021, if I'm right. And I've gone, to a great extent to developing three different apps. One is a community app, one is a certificate, issuer, and the third is Recon, right? So school is just one of the places. So if you are just all about, I want to have A's in school, that's fine. But that is not all that there is to life. And the other 2 points I would just like to make mention. Okay, let me just say this. If you actually discover at some point that you have a false identity, you are settling for less, the best way for you to regain who you are is to go back to God who created you. And as a Christian, I will tell you, read God's word, pray, right? From God's word, extract where it made known who you are. And for example, God is saying that you are beautifully and wonderfully made, right? And at some point, it says that those that know their God, they will do exploits, right? It says, I shall be the head and not the tail. These are principles, these are scriptures in which you walk with. These are things in which you say over and over till it becomes flesh, till it becomes your reality. You don't stop, you don't quit till you see yourself becoming it. And one of the ways you see yourself becoming it is that your result will be an expression of who you are and not just the results, right? And after you are done with school, you are going to notice those track record also following who you are. So lastly, I would just like to tie up this loose end with you guys. Another thing that I would like to say is know who you are. A lot of people are just in school doing things because others are doing it. Night class is not working for you, and the proof of that is that when you get to night class, you just sleep over and over till you wake up in the morning. For instance, I stayed in Akindeko, which happens to be the best hostel. If you're on this call, you can just give me a thumbs up if you know about that. Any other hostel is the counterfeit. I'm so sorry. I am proud of that. Me and if I stayed in Akindeko, that's one of the best hostel. If you know, you know, right? So Unfortunately, we even still stayed. Okay, I stayed in the best block in Akindeko, block C, right? And that's to tell you that all of the fact that they have been painting over, or if you stay in this hostel cannot do this, is scam. It is fake. What actually should be the issue, right? Should be me understanding myself. I know for a fact that I can read anywhere. That's one. I cannot read at night because I go to bed as early as 7 or 6. Sorry if you want to blackmail me for that, you are fine, but it works for me. And anytime I wake up around 2, my day has started, and everybody said you're already sleeping. So I pick up my book and read. That's because I understand my makeup, I understand my design. I'm not following another man's pattern. Assuming I'm following another man's pattern, it would have ended in another way, right? So another thing I would just like to say is association. Be mindful of association. Have a lateral association, which is your colleague. Don't do life alone. People who go far, they work together. I was saying we are three. The three of us, we had first class, and in this circle, nobody knows it all. Everybody, when you notice that somebody knows something, you run to the person. When you notice that this other person is master at this, so it's not a circle whereby somebody is condescending, right? Everybody respect, right? Was so reciprocal. It was general, right? So that being said, also another thing also that stood out is the fact that we also have seniors that we reach out to. If you don't have a senior that you reach out to, your friends, and that actually gives us access to questions, past questions, and the likes. Then the last part I would like to talk about is your juniors also give back to those people coming after you. Try to mentor them, teach them what you know, tell them about lecturers. Oh, these have to pass this person course, right? And the last part I would just like to talk about is work with God. It's a myth for them to say that, oh, if you are serving in church or you are involving yourself in extracurricular activity, you would not succeed, right? For instance, I ran 4 different businesses while on campus. I was fixing computers, and at some point I was managing QS lab, right? Also, we are practicing conserving. I think from our 400 level, we had a couple of projects, me and Ife. Then also we ran a printing press together, me and Ife also, while we were in 500. Then I think finally also, I'm a designer, right? By matter of extension, I designed a flyer for this particular program, right? So those are the things I did on campus, and nothing affected the other, right? Which paints a reality of possibilities, right, to you on this call. Never give in to your call, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and I believe after you've done all this, you would be fine. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone again, and thank you so much, Annie. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. It was so nice. I mean, I have a lot written down here that I've gained, right? Success is my identity. And so yes, we recognize our strengths, understand our designs, not follow another man's pattern,
What did I
not
do?
live alone, right?
Ilé ìfẹ́ kan kó ìbára stamp kí ni ìwọ̀n yẹn fẹ́ sí kò tètè mi lélẹ̀ mi dẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe. Wọ́n ṣe fún ọ ní stamp yẹn fẹ́ ṣe kò lè.
Please
So
mute your mic. Sorry.
thank you very much. So yes, I'd encourage everyone to, draw questions, ask questions. Well, I have questions. I have questions. So let's see.
NAQSS. NAQSS.
All right. So I'll start here because to be honest, what we learn in school doesn't always match up what happens in the industry outside. You know, um, this particular question is for but it's mainly for IT students now, right? IT students. How that what we learn in school doesn't match what happens in the industry, what happens when we go out. Now we already know these things, how we should navigate our way in school. How do we prepare for the world that is outside? For those that are going on IT, also the 300 level students, that go to SUES, right? Yeah, SUES. So yeah, so that's the question.
Okay.
How do we bridge the gap? Yeah.
Okay. Great. So one thing I would say is there's actually a very big discrepancy between what you are learning in school, right, and what is actually practicable on site. And this is not to turn down whatever you are learning. And one thing that actually helped me while I was, during my high T or COS
Only
was
picking.
because while I was in school, right, I'm trying to mute people here. Was because
Okay.
while I was in school,
I would choose that.
while I was in school, I I try to understand why we are doing what we're doing and not trying to just do things cram just for exam.
Mm,
I understand the whys. If I don't understand, I will not stop till I get the understanding. So if you're able to do that successfully when you are in school, you don't cram everything. You understand, oh, this less, 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 less. Why are we lessing it? These add corners. Why are we adding it? Ensure that it makes sense to you, right? Before, don't just dub. That's the reason why a lot of people fail. And I'll give you an instance, right? There was a particular 3 units course I did not read for, right? I think it was on steel gantry. If I should remember, if I should remember this, right? I'm coming. Mr. Matthew, please. I think you need to mute your mic, right? So it was on steel gantry. I did not attend the class because I went somewhere. That was one of the mistakes I did, and I think that was the semester I had the lowest results in my life, maybe 4.44 thereabout. So, but when I entered the exam, I did not read. I did not do anything. One of the things that helped me was because I know the basics, the how, the whys of how a normal calculation actually works. And that in itself, I just, switch that into it. And I had 53C, which is not bad. So why am I saying all of these things? When you know your why, it helps you while you're in school. So another thing that will now help you when you are out there is humility. See, the site engineer that you meet on site that doesn't have a qualification, that did not finish from the university, knows so many things that you don't know. So be humble enough to hide your certificates and listen, ask questions while on site. Because if you're just like, oh, yes, we know this, you will not learn. Nobody even wants to teach somebody that has this pride. So you should come to an extent, to a point whereby when you're going for IT, just temporarily forget everything you have been taught in class, because of a truth, there's going to be a couple of discrepancies, right? And not like those things are not valid, they're also valid. When you come to site, you will see where they are valid also. For me now, I think on my side also, then we were doing a lot of material estimation. So the constant that they were teaching us in school was not really, really given, right? But when I got to site, I was able to learn from the site engineer. And before you know it, I became a master at it. So the first thing while you are in school, understand your whys. Don't just read or cram to pass exams. That's the first thing. The second thing is when you get to sites, be humble enough to learn. There's a even say from that foreman that doesn't even know how to speak English, you can learn a lot from it. And if you can do that, you are going to, you are going to live with a lot of wisdom. I hope I answered the question.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have, and thank you. Thank you so much for that. But now this answer leads me to my next question,
Okay.
right? Yes. So, I just like to know, with all this information and all this insight now from your experience, what's one thing that you wished you had learned while you were still in school? You only realized it like after graduating, that oh, you could have worked on this thing, right? And so I'd like to know how we as students now can
Okay.
avoid making those same things.
Awesome. Awesome, right? So currently, I'm currently doing career mentorship for some set of people, right? And looking through my curriculum, there is a part in which I wished I can roll back the hands of time, and that's it's a particular skill that people don't focus on majorly. Everybody focus on the technical expertise. Everybody knows how to do their takeoffs. Everybody knows how to do material estimation, bill of quantities, and the likes. But only few knows how to, link up with others. Only few people has mastered the business side of things. I can tell you for free. Do you know that there are guys that don't necessarily have skills, but the fact that they can connect a person to another person, for instance, real estate, you can connect a rich man that can afford to buy a property to another real estate that is actually developing, can even turn out to earn you 1 million without you not lifting a finger. That's to show you the business skill that people don't prioritize. And how it starts, it's not like, oh, you're going to see one rich person one day. It's about you having creating a network of friends right from where you are in your school. A lot of us on this call, we don't even have friends to start with. We are just working alone all the time. And I'm so sorry. It will not help you. Don't allow it to be that, oh, when life now, start throwing itself at you, you now be like, oh, I should have even made this network. Because the truth is, for me, all my co-founders, I met them in school. My CTO, that's our tech person, right, that does the coding while I did the design. I met the person while I was in the Polytechnic, right? We met ourselves in school. So I wish I had, expanded my network, to some big guys, right? My why not sacrificing my what should I call it? My core values, because there are some people also that I cannot roll with. So if I were to roll back the hands of time, I'll have maybe make more friends, do more networking, right? And ensure that my network is so solid, whereby I'll be so good. I don't know, maybe I answered that question right. Yeah.
Yes, you have. Thank you so much. So, what skills exactly would you say that like we build on? What skills would you say we build on?
Okay, I would say you build on your soft skill, because soft skill, nobody expects, to teach you soft skills when you get to, the life side of things. Everybody expects you to be good with communication, right? Somebody's this thing is making noise. Everybody
Me too.
expects you to be good with communication, right? That's the first thing. Then two, another thing you need to do also is your leadership skill. The fact that you don't need, I'm coming, I think it's natural that it's making noise. The fact that you don't need somebody to be hand holding you every time, oh, you must do this, you must do that, you must do this, you must do that. That's another thing. The other thing also that you need to build is the ability to sell. See, they are saying that AI is going to take something, AI is going to take something. What AI cannot, the AI cannot sell to humans. If it can sell, yourself, I want to ask you a question. If AI now come and meet you and want to, because AI cannot connect emotionally with you. So these are skills that can help you perform in any sector in which you meet yourself. Because the truth is, all of us will not end up being a quantity surveyor, right? So while you might see yourself in another career path because of some reasons that might make you to be, this set of skill will still ensure that you are relevant in those fields. The first one is communication, right? The second one, leadership. Then the third one I would just say is master the art of selling. That you can sell anything, you can sell a book. Start reading about it. Because when you can sell anything, you are good for life, right? You can even take another man's product, market it. They call it affiliate marketing. You get your money and you're fine. So yeah, that's that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I do not want to be the only one asking questions. Please, do we have questions? Or do we not have questions? Well, I do have another one. Yes, I mean, from what you said, we can see here that these skills are not things that are exactly going to clash with your studies in university, right? However, there are certain skills that would still demand time, right, and consecration from us. So I'd just like to know how it was for you balancing it and how you would advise, students to balance it, their
Okay.
learning and everything.
Okay, awesome. I love that question so much. So, like some people say that they're a preacher of love. I'll say that I'm a preacher of balance, right? And that's because I will always advise, don't leave school without not having a skill. I'm not saying conserving skill. That's one. You don't leave school without not having a skill. I'm saying it now. If you leave school without not having a skill, you're on a suicidal mission. Pressure will fall on you. So while in school, how can you now maximize, balance everything across board? The first thing first is, right, to understand yourself. When you understand yourself, like I've talked over and over, you'll be able to manage your time. For instance, for someone like me, anytime there's no lecturer in class, right? And maybe for 1 hour, I can go back to my hostel. I'll just take a bus, right, and just go back to my hostel. Is either I go and sleep, or is either I go and do some of my works that is, with my laptop, so I can maximize that time. Know that time is actually the SI unit of greatness. Yeah, for me, time is the SI unit of greatness. What you do per time counts. And the reason why we don't pay attention to some seconds, some little seconds or minutes, because we actually feel it is trivial, it is, so small. But those are the minute, right? That actually the little things that amount to greater things. Any great person in which you see today has actually hacked how to maximize their time. And a proof that one thing that we say over and over is, oh, there's no time, there's no time. One thing that will tell and prove to us that you actually had time, but you never did maximize it, is your social media apps. An average Nigerian actually use 4 hours on social media every day. And if you were to calculate that 4 hours, 5 hours by the numbers of years you use on campus, you will notice the number of hours you've wasted in your life. So get a hang of your time. When it is time to pray, pray. When it is time to read, read. When it is time to walk, walk. When it is time for you to, learn a skill, learn it. And one thing I also see, right, is that always know the time to say no. Your friend will come, oh, let us go and play ball. You don't want to slide them. You say yes. Time is going. You must bring it to your consciousness that time is always going. See, it's a myth that time is never enough. That's a myth. Bring it to your consciousness that time is enough. What am I using it for? Be intentional about it, right? And I've also said another thing that can help us, gain balance is our friends. I had friends. That's why I was able to run 4 different businesses without it affecting my academics. I had friends. So should in case, oh, you missed out on an assignment, one of your friends will remind you, don't walk alone. I don't know if there's any Liverpool fan here. Never walk alone. Don't do life alone, right, guys? So that's another thing that is going to help you. Then leverage relationships. When you actually pour into others, they can also help you do some sort of things. For instance, I have a couple of juniors in which I helped at some point in time, right, with their how should I put it, by teaching them designs and all of that. They come in handy for me. When I tell them, oh, please, can you help me do this? Can you just help me get food? Can you help me do this? They run at it and they do it happily, right? I'm not just using them. I'm training them, I'm giving them some set of skills. And when I have some design project also, I give it to them. They also help me do it. And like that, it's give and take. And it's kind of not parasitic relationship. It's kind of, is it symbiotic or because I'm giving to you, you're also giving to me. And if you are making money also on campus, outsource some of your chores. For instance, your clothing, you can be paying a dry cleaner, just do this for me. And I'm not saying that you use your school fee for that or your pocket money. I'm only saying that if you're already working and you're seeing some level of income, right, just put it in that and you will be very, very fine. With that, you have more time to do better things. And like I said, I cannot exhaust this question. It's actually a whole lot, but the crux of it is get a hang of your time. I think in my book at some point I was saying, I remember a scenario in my final year. My birthday actually fell on one of the exam days, and the exam was scheduled for evening time. And I was getting a lot of messages, oh, happy birthday, everybody wants to be celebrated, right? So I now noticed that, oh, this guy, if you don't silence this phone, you will fail this course. Should I tell you what I did? Took my phone, I locked it in my locker. So you need to actually take those desperate measures in desperate occasion or scenario. Nobody's going to take it for you. And when somebody says that there's no time, it's only lazy people that make those excuses. There is time. Just maximize it. And another way you can buy more time is to pour into others or buy their time so that they can help you with some set of chores or be people you can teach also. For instance, I remember my final year, the what they call it, all these your research whereby they'll be imputing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inside SPSS. I just taught 100 level guy in my room. He was even happy and excited. I said, "Oh, now you know it. Okay, help me do it." Now you know it. Then the last part I'll just say leverage technology. Leverage technology. Don't be the person that is always the manual approach. You must go to the library. I'm not saying I don't go to the library. There is a high. Jesus, I wish I was in school when I actually, because for once I never just entered the library. All I did was leverage Google here and there, and it worked. Right. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm sad that question. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. We've had such lovely time and we have gotten so much. I personally have gotten a lot of clarity and understanding. And yes, thank you
You're
again.
welcome.
Right. So now we'll have the second session, and I'd be introducing our second speaker for today, Mr. Ifeoluwa Solomon. Mr. Ifeoluwa Solomon is a quantity surveyor and a member of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyors, NAQSS. He is a first-class graduate of quantity surveying from the Federal University of Technology, Akure, and currently works as a quantity surveyor at Vita Construction Limited. He is also the co-founder and COO of Recon.io, where he focuses on leveraging data and technology to enhance cost management, project performance, and decision-making within the built environment. Okay, please let's make welcome Mr. Ifeoluwa.
Thank you, our moderator. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
First and foremost, I would like to appreciate the OPEA team for giving us this great opportunity and privilege to speak to these great minds. So in this section, I'll be talking us through the journey from being a quantity surveying student to being a professional QS. You know, many of us study, many of us study, or let me say, many of us are still studying quantity surveying in school. But I want to tell you that studying quantity surveying and practicing quantity surveying are two different things. They are two different words. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying school is scam, oh, but what I'm trying to pass across is these words, they are two different. When I was a student of quantity surveying, just like the moderator introduced earlier, I studied quantity surveying from the Federal University of Technology and Akure, and to the glory of God, I graduated with a first class. When I was studying quantity surveying, I genuinely believe that once I could measure correctly, read and pass my exam, then every other thing will fall into places. But that is not the truth. The truth is that nobody really prepares you for how demanding practices can be. I mean, practicing quantity surveying. Nobody tells you when you're in school that this is how you're going to do, or this is how you're going to do. As a student, we spend years learning principles of measurement. They tell you less corner, deductive junctions, you know, contract laws, valuations, and the likes. And also, most of the things we do when we're in school, they are being done in a controlled environment with time on our side. Even though as students, we don't maximize the time. They will give you an assignment to turn in a week time. You won't do that assignment not until a day before the submission day before you do the assignment. But in the real sense, we have time on our side, just that we didn't make good use of the time. But this is a different environment compared to practice. Most of the works in practicing are not done in a controlled environment, and you don't always have time on your side. I could remember then in exam they will tell us that okay, they will tell us that you don't finish measurements, that you just need to do what you can do and you submit. But in practice, it's a different ball game. You need to okay, your client gives you a drawing to prepare bill of quantity for a 2 bedroom or 3 bedroom. You have no choice than to just deliver, and you have 2 or 3 days. You have no choice. You need to take the measurement and deliver. You need to prepare the BOQ and submit to your client or your consultant, as the case may be. Unlike when we're in school, just say, hey, you can even decide. Then I could remember then when I was in school, I and my friend we used to calculate. Okay, my C, I have maybe 30 over 40 in my exam. What do I need to get here? I just need 40. And those questions they have marks, so you can easily calculate what you need from those marks. But in practice, it's a different ball game. You need to deliver. You know. Then as a student, we are always confident, or don't let me say we, I personally, or I and my friends that we were together, we are always confident of ourselves. You know, I could remember there was a time we were saying that we don't even need to read to have A, to show you how the level of our confidence. We say, oh, if I don't read, I will have B, but I'm reading to have A. But in practice, to get to a point, you won't be sure of yourself, but you just need to deliver whatever job you have in your hand. Moreover, confidence in classroom does not automatically translate to confidence on site or in the office. I could remember when we were serving in our service here, Emmanuel could bear me witness to what I want to say. There's a colleague of ours, I won't say his name. The guy also graduated with a first class. And luckily for him, he was posted to serve in the quantity surveying firm in Ibadan. But this guy, I can tell you, this guy will cram. I've never seen someone that will cram taking off from beginning to the end. This guy will cram taking off for you. This guy will go to the exam, will pour everything. What this guy does basically is just to, we used to say la cram, la pour, la forget. That is exactly what this guy does when we're in school. But you cannot cheat, just like they used to say, you can't cheat nature. So this guy was posted to a quantity surveying firm to serve in Ibadan. And I will tell you that there was a time the guy was, gisting us that him and his boss they used to have issue. And at a point, the boss said he was going to call Ajay, our then HOD, that he wants to know how this guy corrected the first class. What am I trying to say in essence is that the confidence you have in class, okay, the success you have in school does not directly translate to the confidence you need or is required of you on site or in the office. You know, you need to know that in practice, you are not just measuring, you are not just doing taking off, you are not just doing internal gaps, external gaps. You are coordinating information, you are revising figures, you are managing variations. Imagine you working as a consultant QS and you need to manage your client's project adequately, or you are working as a contractor's QS. You need to ensure that the project is being delivered in within the specific and required budget. How can you do all this if you are not fully prepared and if you don't even know what you are doing? As fresh graduates, we face so many challenges due to how university prepared us. I'm not saying school is a scam or the university are not trying. Of course, to every building there is a foundation. And there is this saying that if the foundation is faulty, what can the actual do? The university is just giving us the foundation. But we need more than that foundation to succeed in practice. What we are taught in school majorly, we do manual takeoff, but now in practice, it's a different ball game. Imagine you working with a consultant that are much more sophisticated. I could remember there was a project I handled in 2023. The consultants at WCS, they are South African consultants. These guys are so good. They don't, what is manual taking? They don't do manual. These guys, we used to, in Nigeria, most people have the idea that final accounts are being done at the end of the project. But these guys, right from the inception of the project, they have their final accounts ready for you. They'll be dishing it to you one after the other. So what I'm saying is, school will teach you how to do manual measurements, manual taking off, but practice is different. In practice, you are open to projects that have multiple drawings. The project I'm working on presently have various building units. It has warehouse, you have engineering building, powerhouse, warehouse lodge, guest house, and the likes, whereby you have series of drawings, series of revisions. These are not being taught in school. You know, in school, we are not taught how to, you know, keep proper records and documentation. But practice demands you okay. Imagine an instance whereby you are working on a project and you have series of variations ranging from say 1 to 100 and above. There's a project I'm working on presently. The variations we have on that project, as I'm talking to you now, is 121. Imagine you can't keep proper record. How are you going to account for the amount for each of those variations? So these are the challenges you you are likely to face as a fresh graduate. But with all this being said, you realize that the manual workflow that worked in school quickly became inefficient in practice because it's a different ball game, it's a different world, just like I said earlier. I believe you guys are following. If you are following, please, you can just give me a thumbs up so I will know you guys are following. Okay, thank you. However, these challenges that I said, having various drawings, you having to keep different and multiple records and documentation. These these challenges, they are not. It does not mean that you are not intelligent, or it does not mean QAs are not intelligent generally. It's just that the the construction project has evolved past the way we are doing it here. You know, these challenges are not that we lack competence. They are signs that our workflows need to be supported. Just like my brother said earlier, that you need to leverage on technology. That you can't just say you want to do everything on your own. We are facing these challenges as fresh graduates because the the project, the construction industry have evolved past what we're being taught majorly in school. Now we need support. Actually, what helped me as a QS now, as a professional QS, is not working hard alone. Fine, working hard is there, but I also work smart. I work smarter, and I also work as this era QS and not as a traditional QS. I can tell you that when I started working with this company I'm working with, I found it a little bit challenging because on getting there, my direct boss gave an instruction. He gave the instruction there before I got there, which the instruction was passed to me that in our office we are not to use calculator. And I can tell you that hardly we use see a quantity surveyor. Don't some people even move with calculator. They move around with calculator. But this man is telling you that I don't want to see calculator in this office. Then how do you want to do your calculations and all? It's a way of telling you that you need to forget the traditional way of doing things. We don't do paper takeoff where I work presently. We do e-takeoffs. We do takeoffs with our Excel. We present our takeoffs with Excel. You do your calculation using Excel formulas and all. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that what has helped me so far is not working hard enough. Fine, working hard is there, but at the same time, I work smarter and I work as this era QS, like a modern QS and not as a traditional QS. Then gradually I began to understand that professionalism is built on system, consistency, and accountability, whereby you have structured BOQ. This person comes to you, oh, I need a bill of quantity for 3 bedroom flat, I need a bill of quantity for 4 bedroom flat. You don't have to start preparing bill of quantity from the scratch for the same 3 bedroom. You prepare the same three bill of quantity for the same 4 bedroom. No, it's just for you to have a structured template whereby you can easily do your editing and all. The same thing goes for rate calculations and all. You have a specific sheet for your rates that they are being linked to your Excel spreadsheet and all. So these are ways of working smarter. Because as a professional QS, you must be able to explain and defend every work you submit. Imagine you submitting a cost indication or a bill of quantity, and your client is calling you back, Oga QS, how did you arrive at 150,000 being the cost of 1 cubic meter of concrete? Or you are working as a contractor QS and the consultant is asking you, submit a rate breakdown. Do you have imagine you using a top sum rate? How do you submit this breakdown to the person that is asking you? This all this being said, these are where the digital tools comes in. Digital tools like Excel spreadsheet, PlanSwift, Records, and the like. So our ability to leverage on these digital skills, digital tools, will definitely bring us from that position of being a traditional QS to being this era QS. I want you to know that digital tools do not replace QS, just like Emmanuel said earlier, that technology or AI will not replace you. but it's rather to support and enhance our professional growth and our professional dealings. So you need to leverage on these digital tools to have a smooth running for your day-to-day activity as a fresh graduate of quantity surveying or as a fresh entry level into the profession. Luckily for me, I had understood earlier that my student year was not just about passing. Just like I made reference to a friend of mine that did la cram, la pour, la forget. He found it very difficult for him to excel when he got to the industry. But for me, I understood this earlier. Just like Emmanuel said earlier, I and Emmanuel we did series of jobs when we were still when we were still schooling as a student. We collect jobs from both lecturers outside and all, so I knew right from then that me studying quantity surveying is not just to pass, but it's just a way of me preparing myself for the world I want to go and meet outside there. So I advise that you learn workflow early so that you can understand all these things. The earlier you think like a professional, the more smoother your transition will be. So you as a student studying quantity surveying, maybe you are just starting, you are along the line, you are the final year, or you are just a fresh graduate. You need to think like a professional. That will enable you to, have a soft landing when you get into that phase. And know that quantity surveying is evolving. Not only quantity surveying, the construction industry is evolving, whereby we have so many technologies, innovations, and all. And the profession is now demanding accuracy because what you think you can do as a traditional QS, there are some softwares that someone else will leverage on that the person will deliver in a much more accurate way and much more faster way than you. So you need to know that. And finally, your journey as a student to professional is not a jump. Just like I said, it's a bedrock, it's a foundation, it's a process. And every skill you build today will determine the professional you'll become tomorrow. Now, all this being said, and all the advice to grow professionally, to leverage on digital tools and all. Now the question is now you need to be formally recognized as a full professional. That is where the journey of being a corporate member of the NIQS comes in. To become a corporate member, you having MNIQS, this and that, it's not just a title. It's not just a title, but it's a declaration of competence. It's a way of you building your capacity professionally. It's a way of you adding value to yourself. Because there's this saying, I do say that the value you demand will be determined by the capacity you have. You can't walk up to a client or your employer and tell your employer, I want to collect 1 million naira as my basic salary, without you having value that correspond or even more than that value of 1 million naira that you want to require. To the glory of God, I'm a member of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyor and Ogun State coordinator for the YQSF, that is the Young Quantity Surveying Forum. The journey of being a quantity surveyor, it's a 3-year journey. And once you understand these steps, it becomes very achievable for you. So I'll be talking you through this process and journey of transition from being just a QS to a corporate member of the Nigerian Institute of Quantity Surveyor. So firstly, after graduating, if you are fortunate or you are opportune to serve in a quantity surveying firm or a construction industry, the year that your service year can serve as your year one, because it's a 3 years journey whereby you will need to fill in your logbook stage one, stage two, and stage three. So it's a 3 year journey, and you cannot cut across corners. You cannot beat the bush. You cannot do it. Must be 3 years. But if you are opportunity to serve, that's why I always advise people try and get your service year to a construction industry or a quantity surveying firm. It will enable you to use that year as your year one. So is what you just need to do is to get your form, fill in the form, get referee and mentor, get it signed. You have to register with a state chapter, whereby your state chapter person or the general secretary will sign and endorse your form. Then you send this form to the headquarters, which is Abuja, either directly to Abuja or through the license office we have in Lagos. Then after a successful completion of the application, your provisional membership number will be sent to you, which you use to log in on the NIQS portal. Then you can start filling your logbook. After the successful completion of your logbook stage one, this logbook is done in such a way that you fill in your activity day by day, Monday to Friday, January to December, as the case may be. It's a year, it's cut across the year. You fill in the activities you do daily, and your supervisor gets to approve those activities at the end of the day. And after successful submission and completion of that stage, you progress to stage two, and you do the same thing for the stage two. But before stage two, if your institute is not accredited by the QSRB, it means you have to do GDE. But if your institute is accredited by the QSRB, which is the Quantity Survey Registration Board of Nigeria, you don't need to do that. What you just need to do now is, after your successful completion of stage two logbook, you will be qualified for TPC, which is the test for professional competency. And after completion and successful completion of writing that exam, and you are successful in that exam, then you can proceed to stage three logbook. You can proceed to fill your stage three logbook. And after successful completion of that stage three logbook, then you are entitled to have your professional competency interview. After the professional competence interview, then you are right to be inducted as a corporate member. But along the line, you must have been attending the workshops and seminars to acquire a minimum point of CPD, which will enable you to transit from, you know, being a professional member to being a corporate member. So after you have that in place and every other things, then you are good to go. And here comes MNIQS. I believe with all this being said, you've seen that the journey might look long, or you say, 3 years is far, 3 years is far. But once you kickstart, you see that it's a journey and you get there within knowing. And the advice, what I do advise people is that is the earlier the better. There was a friend of mine when I wanted to start it, when I want to start then, I told him, guy, let's start this thing. He said, no, I'm not ready, this and that. The guy began his journey last year. And I will tell you that his due, the due is supposed to pay, started accumulating from the year after his graduation. So if you graduate 2021, it means you pay for year 2022, 2023, 2024, and 2025. You pay for the due at the chapter level, and it will also be calculated for you at the national level. So the earlier the better. Because those are part of the things that discourage your quantity surveyor or even the quantity surveyor that are up there. By the time they will look back and say, let me calculate my indebtedness, they will see that the money is a lot. So it will discourage them to do that. So that's why I advise people. It's the earlier the better. You are just getting there now. So just put in for this and get it done once and for all. It's a way of adding capacity to yourself. You see so many jobs coming on, they will say, oh, you being a member of the University of Science is an added advantage. These are way of building one's capacity. And also you will be open to so many workshops, so many trainings and all, which will improve the way you do things as a quantity surveyor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ife Olua. Thank you for the session. We have someone with a question, right?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Osita. Okay. What do you have a question? So I'd like you to ask. Is this still on the call? Yes, he's on the call. You still want to ask your question? Right, I'll just wait for his response while I take. I have one question. But before that, I'd like to. Okay, let me just take the question now. Right, and this one is for what you started saying at the very beginning, right? So I wanted to ask now, you know, today, would we say that skills or certificates matter? Which of them would we say matters more now today? Skills or certificates?
Okay,
You know, yes.
okay. For me, I will say the two matters
Mm,
because certificates will give you the opportunities.
mm-hmm,
Imagine you graduating at the first class and you are competing or you are applying for a job with the same person that graduated with the third class.
mm,
You will be attended to due to the certificate you have. Due to the certificate you have, you'll be called upon first before the person that have the third class. So the certificate will place you out there. But what will help you to maintain that job or that role is the skill you have. Let me tell you, I've seen some instances or cases whereby someone that holds a third class have capacity, have value to dish out more than the person that have a first class. But when you go for an interview, the person that have first class certificate will be addressed first, will be called upon first co- compared to the person that have a third class certificate. So I would say the two goes hand in hand. The certificate will place you out there, but what will enable you to maintain that you being out there or up there is the skill you have, is what you have to give. I hope that answers your question.
yes, very much. And I think one thing I have, taken down from all that you said is that one should be very critical with this, with, studying. Am I right? Am I right with that?
Come again, please.
To be very critical about every single thing, that we're doing, whether it's the skills or the studies, to be very critical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need to take the two seriously. You need to
Very,
take your school seriously and you also need to take acquiring skill seriously. The two
okay.
works hand in hand. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Someone here has a question from Okiki. He says, for the logbook filling to get the MNIQS, can one start while serving?
Yes, I said it that
Oh,
provided you are working provided you are working with a quantity surveying firm or you are working in the construction industry, your NYC year can serve as your year one. And this is always advisable because you don't have to wait till after NYC before you start the journey. So by doing that, you've cut back 1 year for yourself.
okay. All right. Thank you very much. Um, Other questions can come in. If you have questions, please drop them in the chat. So before the last talk, I'd like to kindly honor some people in our midst. We have QS Toby, the former NAQSS Southwest coordinator, and also the current NIQS FCTPRO. Welcome, sir. It's a pleasure and an honor to have you with us here today. We have
Thank
the
you so
former.
much. It's an honor to be here. Good
Thank
afternoon, everyone.
Welcome, sir. Thank you very much. We also have the former VP of NAQSS National, Miss Okonawo. Ma, please, could you welcome her?
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, ma. Thank you for joining us. We have the current Vice President also of NAQSS National, Miss Egongo. Welcome, ma'am. It's lovely having you around. Could you do us well to say hi? To, okay. All right. We also have the YQSF Coordinator for International Affairs, Ma'am Asogu Juliet. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you for coming around. Thank you for joining us. Could you please?
All right. Good evening, everyone. How you all doing?
I thank
Um,
you so much.
yeah, it's a great one to join us here, and we're very much happy. But just a little correction: is YQSF Secretary International Affairs or the YQSF South South Coordinator. So it's a great one to be part of you people. And I love the fact that you all are doing great as young students, especially the programs people have been having, the training. So I must commend you people. You guys are doing great. I'm sure you guys will be better off than us when the time comes. So we are all rooting for you guys. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Okay. So, now we'll go on with the questions and answers. Okay. So, Osita says, I wanted to ask QS Ifeoluwa how he managed rejections, if at all there were any. As a probational quantity surveyor after NYC, I have applied to every QS firm I know, and they either say there's no work or they keep you on hold. The construction companies are not different either. Then there are the architectural firms that will just want to use you for free, want to gain experience and learn, but not while hungry. So I want to know if it's just me or if this is across the board.
Okay. Um, Thank you for the question. For me personally, seeking for jobs, I've not had any rejection. But having side jobs like some PPs and all, rejections are bound to come in. So I'll be coming from the two angles. You know, you seeking or applying for jobs and you're having rejections. You don't have to feel bad about it. And that doesn't mean you are not you don't have quality or you don't have something to offer those people that are rejecting you. Just take it as if you are not yet at the right place at the right time. So, and I will also advise that some people get rejected due to the way they structure their CVs and all. You can structure your CV in such a way that the person that is reading the CV self won't want to reject you because the person will have been so much engrossed in the qualities and things you put in that CV. So I would say you need to structure your CV where build yourself, build your capacity, and with no time, things will begin to fall in place for you. And also getting rejection, maybe sending out aside jobs. You just need to look for a way to deliver the best of the best. You know, so we have so many QSs out there that, because as a QS, the basic is you must know how to prepare bill of quantity. So you see some client telling you that, this bill of quantity is not an it for me. I've had so many people that are doing it. But the way you structured your work, the way you package your work speaks so well about you, and also will tell if the person will come back or refer you to other person. So I think that answers your question. Yeah.
All right, thank you. Mr. Osita, I hope this answers your question. Okay, I'll take that as a yes. Okay, he says yes. Thank you very much. We also have some people raising their hands to ask questions. So, Mr. Henry, let's have your question.
All right. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
I hope
afternoon.
everyone can hear me.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, loud and clear.
Okay, all right. Nice. Thank you very much. So, I would like to first of all appreciate the organizers of this webinar because it's really enlightening and helping. All right, and I also want to recognize everybody present, our leaders in the house. Thank you for joining. So, QS, if you sir, my question actually applies to this NAQS logbook thing. Because you said
Okay.
somebody can start you can use your NYC year as like first year, right? So
Yes.
that first year, does it have to be like during your NYC period? Because like does it have to be that you're serving in maybe a QS firm, or because they said they're going to fill in your daily activities. What if you are serving maybe in a teaching environment, or maybe they posted you somewhere so random, not related to your course, and you just want to feel what really applies to QS? That's one. The second part is that for people that started that like registered as student members of NIQS, does that like maybe they registered in their maybe third year or maybe their final year? The years they've like been a student member, does it actually count when registering? Like when you want to start filling the logbook or something? So those are the ones to ask. Thank you very much.
Okay, okay. Thank you for the question. So the first question, I will answer the question this way, and I believe I've answered it when I was talking. If your service year, maybe in the period of your service, you are being posted to a school to teach and the likes, there is no way you can use that year as your year one. It has to You have to be serving with a quantity surveying firm or in a construction industry. Because you must have a mentor and you must have daily activity to fill in. So if you are working as a teacher or you are working as, I don't know, something that is not related to maybe quantity surveying or construction, how will you get your mentor, or how will you get a mentor, or how will you get a supervisor to get your daily activity filled, or how will you even get daily activity to fill in? Only if you want to lie. So you can only do that if you are serving in a construction industry or with a quantity surveying firm. With that, you can add daily activities, and you can also have a supervisor to sign that particular year of logbook for you. Then secondly, you ask if you are registered as a student member, if the years you register as a student member counts. The answer is no. It does not count. Because after your graduation as a student, you have to obtain a form, an upgrade from being a student member to a probational member. So it's until when you get a probation, or until when you're a probational member, when you get your probational membership number, that is when you can start filling your logbook. But what your year of being a student member will do for you is it will, open you to seminars, workshops, open you to meeting people, learning about the profession, even while you are still a student. And you can start gathering your CPD points from there. That's what that will get you. But that will not serve, those years will not serve as your active years. I hope that answers your question perfectly.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. That answered it perfectly. But one last thing,
All
sir,
right.
for clarity's sake,
Okay.
you said construction industry. That means that cuts across civil engineering firms, architectural firms, and all that, right?
Provided you can link and relate the activities you are doing, like your daily activities, provided you can link it to quantity surveying practices and all. You can work with a civil engineering firm as a QS. You can work with an architectural firm as a QS. So that does not stop you from, using that particular year as your year one.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much. I believe QS will be open. I think something to say.
Yes, thank you for the privilege to speak. And in addition to what Mr. KSC has said, what most of us don't know is that somebody spoke about um, being rejected, job opportunities, stuff like that. Um, my advice is always this: when we go for internship or CWS, as the case may be, let us try to try our best in learning. And when you learn what we are expected to learn, or when we learn what we're expected to learn, sometimes the firm where some of us serve, they may even request that we come back and then, when we are done with school and we get retained. And some of us, we may not be that lucky, you understand. But the thing also is this: we should um we should learn to show up. I mean, um attending conferences, seminars, webinars, just like we are talking now. It throws you open to or gives you access to people ordinarily that you may not have that privilege to meet. You understand? So it gives you access to them. And these are people that you can ordinarily tell about your concern that can't relate to you. I've had a course whereby um, people reach out to me that it will be help us get some young QS that are probably NYC or 2 to 3 years experience, and for them to reach out or for somebody like me to get to that level is probably because this guy has been showing up. You understand? So let us learn that from the classroom. I'm not saying you should be attending all seminars or webinars, although you need it. But the thing is, what will help you professionally, please try and do it. It is what gives you the edge over other students. You cannot, some of you are here having this encounter. I call it encounter because you are not going back to be the same. You have probably acquired more knowledge above your contemporary. So all these things helps us to be better versions of ourselves. And also for the NIQS membership team, many of us don't know that you don't even need to have started your NIQS before you start the membership journey, before you apply. Provided your school has given you your statement of result from your school, please, you can apply. You can apply as a probational member with NIQS. Provided you have your statement of results, you can apply. If you are waiting for NYSC, some of us, our school may have delay and they may not, or some of us have our personal reason not to want to start. But there are some firms you can reach out to and say, um, I wish to be a graduate intern in your firm. Most often they will accept you. And trust me, except you are not willing to learn, that is when they may not want to take you serious. Or as a student, start having a mentor. Get mentors that can pave that way for you. And the essence of mentorship is those people that have gone ahead of you in that line or profession. Those are the people that can, make you not follow the mistake they have made. They guide you, they tell you about what you need to do. Of course, those are not people you'll be begging for money to. You understand? If not, they may see you as somebody that just want to take opportunity and abuse that relationship of privilege. You understand? So also a question on if you are not posted in a QS firm, what do you do? Okay, imagine if you are a provisional member and you are a lecturer and you just add your NIQS membership number. So does lecturers have construction experience while lecturing? The answer is no, right? But what the institute expects you to do in this case, just like I'm trying to relate it now with a student or a graduate that is not being posted to a QS firm, what they expect you to do is attach yourself or probably find yourself uh, in a project that can give you the required experience during that 1 year, because it is not your fault that you are not being posted to a QS firm. I like the fact that Juliet is here. She's the South South regional coordinator. Recently, she met with NYSC coordinator in our region, whereby she thought that QS should not be posted to classrooms. QS must be posted to construction site. So if we also have those kind of initiative that we restrict quantities of yours from being posted to primary school to teach or secondary school to teach, this will also help some of our young members in getting the required knowledge that they need to get early. So having said that, by and large, let this not discourage you. If you are not being posted to a QS firm, please attach yourself to a life project that's close to you and record all those things that is happening. You understand? You may decide to tell your school where you are being posted that see, I want to really develop my professional journey. I may not be able to come every day due to one thing or the other. Have a open heart conversation with them, and I believe a sane person would listen to your concerns. Okay, so those are the things I think I have to share with us. Don't forget that also this information of membership registration, help one another. Your colleagues are there. Some of them don't have the required knowledge. Please reach out to them on this process that some of us have already been privileged to know or taken already. So I would like to stop here, and I wish everyone a wonderful deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kios Toby. This was so insightful. Thank you. And to everyone that had questions and concerns regarding that, I hope this has cleared the air. Thank you so much, sir. Please let's do well to appreciate our speakers, everyone that has spoken in the comments too. Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, I'd like to this is for both speakers, Mr. Emmanuel and Mr. Ifelua. Can you briefly, quickly tell us about Recon? Recon, yes.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. So basically, what we're trying to solve with Recon is to build a solution for Africans. Though African is not our only target, but to start with Nigerians, like I was saying, or Africans per se, to ensure that we have a solution that is simple, that is affordable, and that is also reliable. You know, not sacrificing accuracy just because the money that you're going to be paying is high or something. And I think one of the things that helped us or made us, to get to this point is because virtually all the softwares in which you have around cost what millions, right? It's just that we are using cracked versions here and there, which is not a good practice, especially for a profession whereby we are, talking about trust, accountability, and managing money, to be precise. So, and that is not to even shade, because that's the reality of the economy in which we found ourselves. So by virtue of fact, we have also been able to use a couple of softwares down the line. I remember we started with Bluebeam and talking about 2018 before we now started, got to find out about PlanSwift. So, and I think we're among the first set of peers that, got started with that. So we're able to use that like for some couple of projects and across board before we now started this initiative. And I remembered also when we got to site, we were saddled with the responsibility, especially me, right, before. And I think this was during my IT period. We were saddled with this responsibility to get materials needed for site because there was no QS on the site in which I was working. I worked then, right? And should I call him project manager or engineer on site in which I met there, was so good with it. And I just had to relearn how to do all these calculations. So these are some of the things in which we packed into Recon. And what we currently have now, it's a mobile app that does basics, right? That this is just the, should I say, level one of what we have in stock. Our plan is to ensure that we come up with a tool that makes life so easy. Sorry, somebody's talking. Okay, our goal is to ensure that we come up with a tool or provide a solution, build a solution that is simple, right? Affordable. Though what we currently have, um, I mean, the mobile app is totally free. I mean, for you to estimate your materials, for you to check current market prices, and for you to prepare your bill of quantities is absolutely free. So anybody can just download Recognize or just go online and just work your way around it. And I think Ife is just going to be showing us around how you can just leverage it. So that being said, so our experience using some of these softwares, we're able to notice some loopholes that we can make better. For instance, you have to use two softwares before you can do a bill of quantity. That's actually a very ambiguous project. You have to use a couple of templates, plugins here and there. it actually makes the whole work so ambiguous. And that is what we are trying to do with Recon. We are trying to simplify the processes, right? For another instance I would like to reference to, right, is that when you're trying to use PlanSwift, is either you are trying to minimize PlanSwift window and then go to Word, and then at some point also, maybe have a second screen, have two laptops. So the whole process is so dicey, so ambiguous, and that is why we are motivated, right, to build Recon. So currently what we have is basic, like I said. The work is, a whole lot more, and before this year runs out, we should be able to have a product that can allow us just to do a taking of our bill of quantities, upload your drawings, do everything digitally, just in a single space, right? In a single space, not you having to deal with Excel, subscribe to Excel, do PlanSwift. No. We are trying to ensure that we have everything together in a single space. So that's where we are going. But what we currently have is a mobile app. So what does the mobile app even help you with? So it's actually reduces that chance of you looking for a second laptop or alternating between two laptops, right? Oh, I want to use this one for PlanSwift, I want to use this one for Excel. So what you can use at the moment is maybe your laptop is running on PlanSwift, you have the mobile, right, whereby you just insert your details, and also we have some pre-recorded descriptions that is in line with BSMM4, right? So all those descriptions, when you just say that, oh, clearing, you see pop-up suggestion, clearing of sites, it pops it up for you, and you insert your figures like that. That's about the bill of quantity. And a great thing about the bill of quantity is that you can export to Excel, you can export to PDF ready to be sent to your client, right? And also another thing, we also ensure that we developed, right, is the fact that we can also do material estimations. And the way we structure is the fact that you don't need a paper, because you're on site, your boss called you, oh, I need this thing for this thing. You are just bringing paper. Or what if I actually said the other time you are bringing out a calculator? Calculator is actually prohibited in some couple of sites, like where it works in our international organizations. So where you have your phone, especially your phone is always with you every time. You just run your measurement. And I remember somebody speaking with us at some point that, oh, a client reached out to him. He was in the presence of the client, and the client was asking, how many blocks do I need for this thing? How many reinforcements? How many tiles do I need for this? The guy just bring the phone from the pocket, and brought out the phone from the pocket, rather. Sorry about that. And he inserted the measurement, and within seconds, just told the client, and the client was surprised. How do you come about this? So those are the magic in which you're trying to build a solutions by Africans for Africans, right? Without you just breaking the bank. So we will need your support, right? By downloading, telling a QS to another QS, and also joining the community, whereby you tend to also talk about, give us feedback, because we are here for you. For instance, it was paid, you have to subscribe 5,000 naira per month. Before we now got the feedback, oh, we cannot afford it yet. Yes, we make it free, right? So pending that time, we will need your support, your feedback on how we can make it better, how we can serve you better. Like I said, the goal is to develop a product that is simple, affordable, and accurate for us without you having to break the bank. Yeah. So I will just hand over to Ife now to just maybe show us how it actually works, if that is fine. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Please go ahead, Mr. Ife. I was calling out to you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Marvin, thanks for that. So briefly, I'll just show us how the Recon app works by trying one or two items of work, then preparing one or two items of work on the DQ as well. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Can you see my screen? Please
Yes,
let
we
me know
can.
if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, okay. So this is the interface of the Recon IO app. And on this interface, we have material estimator, we have bill of quantities. Down here we have home, we have marketplace, we have messages, and we have profile. So right on the home, we have the material estimator. So I'll be clicking on the material estimators to show us the various items of work we've made provision for that you can easily estimate for. So where is that? Hold on, please. Okay,
I sorted
thank
that.
you.
You can continue, sir.
All right. So we have these are the items of work we made available that you can estimate for. We have blocks, concrete, tiles, stone dust filling. We have filling under the filling. We have about two different filling because we have sharp sand filling, we have students filling. We have beddings and backing. We have cutaway. We have reinforcements. We have cage and the likes. So I'll be taking about two or three for the sake of our time. So the first item I'll be taking is the block. So let's say you want to estimate for block that you'll be needing for a particular project. Say you have your, let's say you have a straightforward plan, measuring length of 10 meters and width of 5 meters with height of 3 meter, and you have, let's say you have two doors that is opening. You have two doors, 900 by 900 and 1.2 by 2.1, 900 by 2.1 height, 900 by 2.1 height. Then you have a window opening of 1.2 by 1.2. So let's use that as an example for the sake of this webinar. So what you just need to do now is to click on the blocks, and as you can see here, we have length and we have height. And when calculating for blocks, what you need is you need the area where the block will be covering. And to get that, you need either the length multiply against the height or the total gap as against multiplication of the height. So in this instance, I said we are going to use a straight plan of 10 meters by 5 meters. So what I need to do here is just to click on the box where I have length, which is a meter, then impute my parameter, which is 10, being the length, then plus another 10. It's a rectangle, so I'm taking a 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5. So I have this to be my total gap, that is the overall length the block will be covering. And I said let's use the height of 3 meters. So click the box of 3 of height and impute your height, which is 3 meters. So let's say you don't have to deduct openings and all. What you just need to do after imputing this is to click calculate, and you have, as you can see, the result is here. You have your area, you have the blocks quantity, which is 900 numbers. You have the cement to be required for laying the same 900 numbers of block, and you have the sand you require for laying same. But let's go back and do make provision for deductions of opening. So what you just need to do is click on new calculation, then it takes you back to the page. So what you just need to do here is to re-input. I'm going to include the parameters 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5, and my height is 3. So let me deduct now. I want to deduct two doors and one window. So what you just need to do in order to deduct is to click the minus the minus button like you have on the screen now. We have calculate, we have the addition, and we have the subtraction sign. So just click on the subtraction sign. Clicking on that, you see this pop up and it shows deduct. So what am I deducting now? I'm deducting a window of 900, a door of 900 by 2.1. So what I need to do is just input the length of the door, which is 0.9, the height 1.2. Let's say this is the only door, or this is the only deduction I want to do. The next thing I will do is just to click on calculate. But since I have other door and I also have a window, so what I just need to do is click the subtract sign, and you see another pop-up um, deduction down there. So what you just need to do is to input 1.2 by 2.1 by 2.1. Okay. I'm also to deduct the window. Proceed. Let's say my window is 1.2 by 1.2. So let's say now we have internal wall. What you just need to do, let me just do it once and for all. What you need to do in case you want to include an internal wall, you just need to click the addition sign beside the calculate, then you add whatever you want to add. So let's say I have an internal wall of, let's say, 4 meter by 2.1. I put it there, and at the end of the day, you click calculate, and you have your result. So the total area now is 93.36. You have the quantity of your block, you have the cement for laying, you have the sand for laying, and that is all for that. And after this, you want to go back to the home, you click the button return home, then you get back to this page. And anyway, you want to continue with fresh calculation, just click new calculation. So let me just pick one other item of work for the sake of our time. Let me pick form work. So form work, we made provision for two because we have two kinds of cover. You know, some people will use like a marine board, while some people will use normal plank, maybe 2 by 12 or as the case may be. So you just need to navigate around this. You know, if you are dealing with marine board, if what you need is marine board, stay on the marine board. If you want to deal with plank, you navigate to plank. But for the case of this practice, I'll be going with this marine board. So let's say I have a slab. This particular drawing I'm using, which is 10 meter by 5 meter, let's say I want to like slab, I want to do like a decking, and I need to calculate for the slab. So what I need to do is just, our formwork is measured in meter square. What is the unit of measuring your formwork is in meter square if it's for slab. So what I just need to do is to impute my length, which is 10, and the height now will be in the width in this case, which is 5. Then click on calculate. Let's say we have a space for staircase, and you need to deduct that space because you are not going to cast the area for the staircase. What you just need to do is to follow the same principle just as we did for the block. You click your subtraction sign, you have this, then let's say 1 meter by 1 meter, and you click calculate, and you have your wall area, the marine board you'll be needing, the framing, the 2 by 3 timber framing, the 2 by 3 timber bracing, and that's that for that. So for the sake of our time, I'll just move straight to the bill of quantity. So for the bill of quantity, what you just need to do is to click on the bill of quantity on the home screen, and it will take you to this page. I've created a project which I named 3 bed. That is what you are seeing there. But let's say you are coming here fresh, or you have a new project to create. What you just need to do is to click on this towards the down part. You see create new project. You click on the create new project. You see this pop up. Enter the project title and you name your project. Let's say for the course of this program now, let's use propose BOQ for OPI digital team. Let's propose maybe 2 bedroom residential development. Yes, propose. So let's just go with this. And you see at the top here, the title we just created is at the top here. And when preparing bill of quantities, we have elements, and under each element, we have various items of work to be captured. So let's say, for instance, element 1 now, we have to deal with substructure. That is where the headers comes in. So what you just need to, as you see, as immediately I click on the header, we made available some various suggestions which will enable you to be much more faster when doing your work. So you don't have to start typing everything word by word. You just need to like start it. Let me start now. Substructure, as you can see, I type SUB and I have like a pop-up already. So what I just need to do is to click that particular one. And if I want to edit, I can edit this by, I can edit it to suit whatever I want, as the case may be. So the first item will be taken now under the substructure. Let's take clearing of the vegetation. So what you just need to do now is come to where you have this description. That is the item A. Our item A now will be clearing of vegetation on site. So what you just need to do now is click on where you have the description. You type whatever you want to type. And as you are typing, you will see some suggestions. You see, I type clear, and I have a suggestion already. Clearing of vegetation on site. You see? So what do I need when calculate when taking off for clearing of vegetation? I need the unit of measurement in accordance with DESM4 is in meter square. That is the length and breadth of the site you want to clear. So what I need to do now is, as you can see under this description, we have various units of measurement, that is meter, meter square, meter cube, number, and item. These are the major and basic units of measurement we use when preparing the quantity or when taking up or when measuring. So for clearing of vegetation on site, the unit is meter square. So what you just need to do is to click on that unit, meter square. And as you can see, when my pickup was on the meter, if you check the bars underneath it, I have length. But immediately I change it to meter square, I have area. So after clicking on the meter square, what you need to do now is to click the calculator sign you have in front of the 0.00, and you have the box just as you had it earlier on. And you input your length and breadth as the case may be. So for this particular project, let's take 10, and the same our length will be 10 meter and our width will be 5 meter, just as we did earlier. So after this, you click calculate, and you have your area. Then we have a provision for your rate. So let's say I have my rate, and I want my rate to be 900. You type into there. And to move to the next item of work, you see add item under this particular first item I've created. So what you just need to do now is to click the plus sign that has the add item in front of it, and you have this. So you can continue this process on and on till you get to the last item you want to create. So let me do one more for this under this element. So let me do excavate for topsoil. Excavate, you see, I have the pop-up. Excavate topsoil, average 150 mm depth and cut away from site. So I click. If I want to edit this description, I can always do that. So let's say I don't want it to be and cut away from site. Let me just leave it at excavate topsoil, average 150 mm deep or depth, whatever. So that is that. And for that also, it's measured in meter square. What you just need to do is click on the meter square, you click on the calculator button you have this pop-up, you put in your length and breadth, then click calculate, and you have it there. You can input your rate, then say 1000 now. I'll be stopping for these two items under element one. Then let's say I want to add another element. Look at the blue, um, the blue color that has the add element. That's where you are going to press in order to add another element. So after pressing that, you can see I have element 2. So what is my element 2? Let me say my element 2 is frame. So I have my element 2 to be frame, and I can impute whatever description or whatever item I want to measure under the frame. Like that, like that, like that. So let me take concrete. Let me take concrete. That is, I want to take concrete for the slab. So I have it here. You see, I just type concrete and I have various pop-up suggestions. So I'm scrolling through to see if I will see the one that suits my description, that suits the description I want to. So I'll be picking this. A first institute concrete means one ratio this and that. So and to measure for concrete, what I need, the unit of measurement is a meter cube. So what you just need to do is click on the meter cube. Then you see that where we have length and volume area, change to volume, because when calculating for meter cube, it means you are dealing with three parameters which will give you volume. And what you just need to do now is click the calculator button. What is the length? We have length to be 10. What is the breadth or width? We have it to be 5. And let's say we are casting thickness of 150, which is 0.15. After this, okay, we have a deduction. Let's say we have a deduction. We just have to click the subtraction sign. Then we deduct 1 meter by 1 meter by 0 0.15. Then click calculate. I have your answer. Then input your rate. So let me say 180k. So I will stop here. So after all these are being done, there's if you look up here around where we have the title for the project, you see a three dotted something that is being circled. What you just need to do after you're finished with all your work and all, just click that. Then you see rename, whereby you can rename sorry, you can rename the project, or you export to PDF, or you export to Excel, or you delete as the case may be. So for now, I'll be exporting to PDF. So to export to PDF, just click export. And also, you know, you might be working on some projects that the client will tell you, oh, add contingency of so amount. You understand? So we made a provision to add the contingency. And in case you don't need to add contingency, just leave it at zero. But let's say I'm adding contingency of 500K and our VAT, our VAT is 7.5%. So preview, you see the preview before you export to PDF. So in case there is need for you to do some, some editing, maybe you notice some errors and all, you can always go back to edit before exporting. So what you just need to do now is to glance through and see what you've done. So you see
Sorry,
the
Ife.
first page.
Sorry, very sorry. So please, the preview is not showing on the call because at some point we actually blocked it for the paid folks. But when you use it, it's going to show. Do you get? So maybe when you are done,
Can
Ife,
you,
you can just show them the final stuff. Do you get? You can
yeah,
continue, Ife.
okay. I'm the only one that is saying the preview. So this is the preview, which will be shown to us at the later stage. So that is all for that, you know, and that and that and that. And you can always come back to your edit. You can always come back to, you can always come back to re-edit for another project that are similar. And you can always come back to, let's say your client made some, or you made a mistake. The depth, the average depth you use you assume to be 150 or you used to be 150 is more than that. You can always come back here to change the description. Or let's say there's a mix up or a mistake in the calculation, you can always come back and do that. And that is that for that. And also, we have our marketplace whereby you can get the prices of basic construction materials. These prices were last updated January, so we are working on getting it up to date, and we also have plans in the pipeline to onboard sellers that so this will enable you to get real-time prices. You won't have to, start guessing, oh, what is the price of this? Or you won't have to stress yourself getting price and all. So and we made provision for two locations. If you check up here, there's a filter sign here where you have all Lagos and Abuja. So let's say you want to check prices of materials in Lagos. Clicking this filter sign, you see this and you click on Lagos. So items items that will be provided for you will be subjected to Lagos only. And if you want to do for Abuja, you do the same. And that is that for that. So I believe you guys followed, and with this little explanation, if you are to use Recon, you'll be able to use it without any stress.
Hi, Ife.
So you
So show
might,
them the
yeah,
export. Sorry to cut you in. Show them the export before you stop sharing so that they can see. Hi, Ife. Do you get that?
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yes, 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 yes. I will
Yeah.
do that. I will do that.
Okay, okay, please.
So Annie can continue while I try to. Oh, Iman, you can continue if you have anything to chip in before while I try to export.
Okay. So basically that's just the basic feature of Recon. And if you're asking, oh, how does this help me? First thing first, you don't need a PC before you can build or develop a bill of quantity. You don't actually need a PC. Your mobile phone is enough, can do the magic, and it follows all standard. Your high, your holes is not going to feature, and you can even, after you have finished, prepare your bill of quantity, you can export it as a Excel file and take it maybe to somebody who owns a PC and readjust whatever you want to do. So that is that. And we have a whole lot of stuff in the pipeline. We just trust that very soon we can roll them out. A whole lot of features that makes your life way easier. Have you actually imagined, you being called on, oh, I need a labor schedule for this section of work? And that reminds me of a question that somebody asked, right, about not getting a job. See, we are missing a whole lot of opportunity. your dad's friend is actually building, and you don't see a need for you to even reach out and say, oh, this is what I studied in school, I can help you with this. And don't always start with money first. Allow money to come later. Keep adding value, keep adding portfolios, right? And saying, oh, I help this person do this, I help this person manage cost. And for you can use record to do that. Help them come up with numbers of bags of cement they need. Help them come up with blocks. And like that, it starts building a kind of confidence, a kind of audacity, a kind of what shall I even call it? A kind of network that now makes them refer you. Oh, you can do this. Oh, you can do that. And before you know it, you are good. You're on your way to greater success. So that is what we are here to do at Recon. Build a solution that is simple, build a solution that is affordable, especially when we have rates, and also that is way accurate. So I think with that, we are good. I don't know, maybe anybody have a question pending the time it first shows us.
Yeah, can you
You know,
see? I'm showing the screen now. Can you see?
it's still blank. Like, did you open it with
Okay,
a
no worries,
PDF
no worries.
something or okay? Does anybody have a question? Right. Pending the time that it shows us so that I can see that it's for real. Okay, Amoyes. Am I right with that?
Yes, good evening.
Okay, good evening, man.
Good evening. Yeah, thank you so much for this training.
You're
Okay, I want to
welcome.
ask question from the part where you deducted opening. You deducted there's a place where you deducted 900, 1, 2. So what if we have a 900 door that is more than one? Maybe five numbers of
Oh,
900 door.
awesome. Awesome. I love
Are
that.
we
Mm-hmm.
alright?
So
So are we
basically,
supposed
what
to
you do with that is either you impute your numbers in the
Let me
length or you
practicalize it.
impute it.
Let me practicalize it.
Okay.
Okay. I'll okay, let me share the screen. Okay. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, you can see your screen now.
Okay. So let me go back to okay, I can even do it. I can do it right here. So let me just add another item. Let me add another element. Add element. Let's see superstructure now.
Please, and
Alright, I
if you
would
have
like to say
questions, you can just drop it in chat
something.
box.
Right,
Okay, Annie, you are saying something.
yes, I was going to address that because the direction of them, I'd like that everyone that has questions just drop it in the chat. Right, no one's going to ask your questions for you, so please just engage in the chat. We're about to round up. Thank you.
So let's say element three now is internal and external walls, block walls. So let me say we are using 225 vibrated yellow side. Okay, I have a pop up here. So let me just pick this. This suit is fine. The second one has solid fill with weak concrete, which I'm not using. So let me pick the first one. And we all know that the unit of measurement for block wall is a meter square. So what I just need to do is click on the meter square, click the calculator button, impute my gap now, which is 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5, and my height to be 3 meters. So I want to deduct. So I have 900 by 2.1, and I have it, let's say I have four of it. So what I just need to do is to multiply by 4. Because we've designed these boxes to work in such a way that it follows the rule of bird mass. So you can even do, square roots, division, provided you are following the rule of bird mass. So if you do it this way, you have the length of the dot to be 0.9, the height is 2.1, and we have 4 of it. So what you just need to do is multiply by 4, and you are done. Quick calculate, and you have your answer. So let me say my rate now is, let me use 12,000, and I'm done. I believe that answers the question for the person I asked.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, so let me try and export this and share it with people.
Okay, pending
So
that
if
time, do
you
we
have
have
any
another
other question,
question?
you can ask.
Okay, the link is shared. Just go to your app store or Play Store if you are using Android or iOS, right? Just type Recon.io, or you can even go to Google. It's going to link you to our website, and from there you can still get the links. So, and for desktop version also, it's coming soon. I mean, way soon, where you just do your digital measurement, and from there also it helps you convert it directly to your bill of quantity without you using Excel, PlanSwift or nothing. So we are currently that is in the works already. So pretty soon it will be available by God's grace. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Mr. Emmanuel still has something to say.
Second, a second, a second.
Okay,
Okay,
he's
Okay.
can you see my screen now? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this is what we just prepared now. The first page now is the title page where we have proposed to bedroom, BOQ, this and that, this and that. So the next page is for element number one. So we've done it in such a way that each element is going to carry a single page, a fresh page. And this is what we have for element number two. And at the end of the day, we have our summary page where we have the cost of element one, which is the structure, the cost of element two, which is spring. We have the total here, the contingency I added, and the VAT, which is here. Then we have our total estimated cost, and your bill is ready to be sent to your client. Thank you.
So Abdullah, I don't get your question. You said, are we here together with developers? Yeah, we are the co-founders of Recon. So I actually happen to be the product manager and product designer. So the other co-founder, who is the mobile app dev, and you know um right, let me just say, in charge of the coding and the likes, is not here with us. Ife also is with us with the calculation and all of that. I hope that answers your question. Okay, I think over to you, Hani. Thank you so much for having us.
all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this. Right. I mean the this app is I'm just in awe. Right. I'm just in awe because it's just so good.
Thank you
Someone
so
said
much,
can
Hani.
went in depth. I mean, I feel like we'd even have more questions coming in later on, but it will probably be addressed in the chat. That is on the challenge group, right? Right.
Okay.
Yes, I have one question too. For those that have not been addressed, that say the young QS, those in lower levels, how would you advise that they start learning with this app?
Okay. For the lower levels, how should they get started? So one thing I would say first is understand the rules guiding measurements, right? Because all of everything in which you see in quant surveying, right, there is a why to it. If you don't understand it, don't go ahead, ask questions, because that's another thing we are robbing ourselves of in this generation. Don't always accept that, oh, this thing is meter cube. Ask, why is it in meter cube? Ask why this one is in meter square. And I tell you for free, if you can master this, you can do anything. If they actually bring a project to you from, you know, maybe from US, UK, you can act it, because now you have mastered the principles. And I think at some point also I got this insight that with principles, success can be replicated and can be repeated. All right. The principle that surrounds 1+1 = 2. Somebody also in US can also do it. So why am I saying all of these things? If you have mastered the principles, using any software will be a walk in the park. So for instance, now you actually have maybe your dad's friend is building a house, or your parent also, they are even building maybe one apartment or their likes. Just get the measurement from, like I said, the bricklayers. And I will also like to reference what I said initially. Don't allow your being in the university to get the best side of you. Be humble as much as possible. When you see a foreman, you see a bricklayer, ask questions, right? So that when they now tell you, oh, this block, we are actually doing it 4 feet by 4 feet, convert your 4 feet by 4 feet, right? Because we are still trying to also bring in those measurements and insert it also in the app. And with that, you can get started. And another thing I would just like to say is ask questions. Okay, good way also to start. Join our community. Thank God I remember that. You are going to see a very small banner when you install the app. Just click on the community, just click on join. And there you can ask a lot of questions. I and Ife, we are actively there. We will answer your question. Oh, you are faced with a challenge, you want to get your blocks. Let us know. It's a community open to feedback. This one is not a community whereby we restrict you from talking. It's only when you are doing what doesn't resonate with why we created the community. That's when we can just, mute you or probably remove you. But if it's about gaining insights, how it works, yeah, we can do that. And I don't know, we're also open to any community that is ready to have us for maybe 1 hour session, 2 hour session to just walk them through on how the app works, or maybe the nitty gritty also surrounding quantity surveying. Again, I will tell you, always know the why. Don't cram. QS is not hard. QS is not hard. The link to the community is on the app. Just download the app, right? Just download the app. And when you download the app, you would just click on the banner and you will join the WhatsApp community. Okay, I can see a question here also. How can we include the preliminary? What you just need to do is, for one element, just add your preliminaries. Or another thing you can do, you can create another project as your preliminary, so you export the two separate projects. Like we said, this is just the first, it's just the basic feature that we have. Support us, preach the gospel of record to everybody. In little or no time, all these preliminaries, in short, when you even see the end product, you would be surprised and amazed, right? Because this is not something that has even been done anywhere in the world, right? Recon is the first mobile app that does bill of quantities anywhere in the world. You can quote me, you can try it out, do your research anywhere in the world. Recon is the first mobile app. You can do your bill of quantities from start to finish. So it's not yet perfect. It's still a work in the park, and we are going and going. So can this app calculate stairs? Of course it can. So one thing with stairs is like I said, the principles. If you did not get anything from me this very evening, the principles, the why. Always know the why. If you have not understand the whys, ask people. Keep asking till you get your answers. Keep asking. So what's the principle around stairs? What makes stairs different from your slab? After all, it's concrete. The difference is just the shape. The shape of a stair is a triangle, and by matter of extension, it's a prism, right? It's actually extended. It's not just like a 2D flat object. It's a prism. And I just want to say this. The last time I practiced quantity surveying was maybe 2021. I've not carried anything quantity surveying related since 2021, right? And this is me still teaching, right? Just because I understand the principle. You can wake me up, I can prepare your bill of quantity. Straight up, why? I understand the principles. So why am I saying this again? The cell is just like a triangle, right? And extended like a prism. So what's the formula of a triangle? Half base times height. That gives you the meter square. And once your meter square, then you had the height. Your height is this. So the way we made recon is that you can do calculations within a box. Maybe your this thing now is we have 3 boxes for concrete, right? The first part you can do it as your base times height. That's your base times height, right? And the other part, you can add, maybe to your base, you can even add the half. You need to add the half now, 0.5. You can add it maybe to the height or to the length. So the other part is now going to be the width. I don't know, the width of your stairs may be, should I say, let me just get maybe 500 mm or thereabout, and you multiply it by the numbers. So first to know the principles, and I think you can still just join the community and ask this question, so we can just screenshot how we do that. And if I hope I'm right, so that you can tell me, oh, Emmanuel, you're on track. because you are still actively in the field. Yeah.
Yeah, you said it all. You said it all.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much. Okay, does anybody have the audio or video of this webinar? I'm just going to be sharing the link now. It was actually to my YouTube page. So please let me just drop the link now. Come in. Oh, sorry, it's not here. I'm coming, please. So, in case you have another question, if I can attend to that, while I just saw this out.
All right, let's keep the questions coming in and let's make it brief. Okay. I don't think we have more questions coming in.
Okay, I'm just dropping the link now. So I'm
Okay.
coming.
Okay. Also, whatever you think that we might have missed here, whatever thing you need, other links, please let us know later on in the chat, in the
So
challenge
I've
group.
dropped, yeah, thank you. I've dropped the link. Yeah, thank you.
We can also attend to that. All right. Please go on.
Okay, does anybody have a question? Because I've dropped the link in the chats so we can wrap up. Does anybody have a question for us again before we leave? Again, join the community, ask your questions. We'll be there to grant answers. Okola, do you have a question? Your hand is raised. Okay, okay. So I think we are good. Annie.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to our speakers, Mr. Emmanuel, Mr. Ifelua. We've had such wonderful time, and yes, it's been a whole lot. Thank you so much. Right
Yeah,
now,
You're
we know
welcome.
you're
that yes.
welcome. Thank you so much. And special thanks also to Elaine. I don't know why she has not featured yet. I must thank Elaine for the calls, the timely chats. You are so amazing and I celebrate you deeply. Thank you so much, Elaine. Yeah. And you too, Annie. Your flowers. You did amazingly well. Yeah. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much.
much. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. All right. Oh, someone is asking a question that has been asked before, right?
Yeah,
Someone.
I've answered that question already. I don't even get the question. Yes, we are the developer. Three co-founders. Yes, we are the developer. A co-Nigerian like you.
So I hope this answers your question, Mr. Right, Mr. Abdullah. Okay. All right, so we know that this initiative has been brought to us by the OPEA team, right? OPEA has brought the challenge of PlanSwift and Microsoft Excel, right? And we've been giving you materials, to just work on to improve but your digital skills. And Recon is another app that we are so much recommending for everyone, every QS. So please do well to download it, do well to also support us. Thank you so much. On this note, I'd like to invite another OPEA team member, Mr. Okiki, to give us a closing remarks. I hope we've had a wonderful time here. Recon OI. I'm so sorry about that. Recon OI. IO.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. It has been, I don't know if I'm audible, but it has been a wonderful time here. And I personally have gained a lot. And I would like to thank the speakers, Mr. Ife, Mr. Emmanuel. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. I would like to thank OPR team too. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. And all our, I won't call them guests, but then our dignitaries that came around. We really appreciate you. We recognize you. Thank you so much. Without wasting much of our time, um, I would like to pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you. We worship you. We glorify your name for all what you've been doing in our lives, for protecting us till today, for giving us the opportunity to to attend this webinar, to gain a lot from this webinar. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much in Jesus' name. And we thank you for what you are still going to do, even with Recon UI in our lives as QS. And we pray for Recon UI, the developers and all of them, the team who work together to build up this for more knowledge, for more success, and for more um impactation in the QSC in Jesus' name. Thank you so much, Lord. Appreciate you in Jesus' name. We pray. Amen. So thank you,
Amen.
everyone. Back to you, Annie. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone. A big shout out again to our OPEA team lead, Miss Helene. Thank you so much, Ma, for this wonderful privilege. All right, have a lovely time, everyone. Have a lovely evening. We'll end.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sister, thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Mm.
Bye bye.
Bye, Miss Helen. Bye, everyone.
Okay, how to do composition?